Hi friends, my name is Miss Tammy. Welcome to Bellevue Christian Church's online children's lesson. We are a church where ordinary kids are learning to live everyday life like Jesus. Let's get started. How many of you like presents? Me too. The most common times when we might get a present is Christmas. You might make a list of all the things that you really want. Your parents might go shopping, wrap all the gifts. There's always a lot of anticipation. Some families hide their gifts. Some families might put their gifts out under the tree early. Imagine seeing your Christmas tree with all the gifts underneath it. Big gifts, little gifts, all kinds of wrapping paper and festive bows. I bet seeing those gifts would make you wonder what was in them. Look at how many gifts we have piled up here. You almost can't even see the Christmas tree. Have you ever had that many gifts piled up in front of your Christmas tree? That would be a lot of presents. If I had a gift wrapped up for me, I would wonder what was in it. Sometimes you can tell by the shape or the size. Sometimes you might shake the present. You might be able to tell by the sound. But if I had a present, I wouldn't take a peek because I'd be afraid somebody might catch me. Waiting at Christmas to open gifts seems to take forever. But we know when the time is right and we get to open our gifts, they will be amazing. They might hold something we've been waiting for a very long time. This is a lot like our Bible story today. We're going to hear about the greatest gift ever. You know what? Right now, I think I am going to open one of our gifts and see what's inside it. What do you think? I shook it. What do you think this might be? Sounds like it could be... Oh no. Anybody want this for Christmas? Oh well. But you know what? Even though that gift was a little disappointing, we're going to find out about a much better gift. Okay, so let's see. The next thing we're going to do before we dig into our story is we are going to read our verse that we've been learning about all year. It's from Joshua 1:8. Maybe some of you have been memorizing it. It is, again, Joshua 1:8. Never stop reading this book of the law. Day and night, you must think about what it says. Make sure you do everything written in it. Then things will go well with you, and you will have great success. Okay, so that was our Bible verse from Joshua 1:8. Okay, so we have been going through the books of the Bible, okay? And we know, maybe we remember that there are 66 books of the Bible. And right now we are in the Old Testament. So I am going to read 2 verses to you from the book of Isaiah, from chapter 9, and I'm going to read verses 6 and 7. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with his justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. Now that's probably a little bit confusing. because there's a lot of big words in there. Okay, but we're going to talk about that. Now, that was from Isaiah chapter 9 and verses 6 and 7, and that was in the Old Testament. Okay, so do you remember how we learned about some of the kings that were ruling over the Israelites, right? Now, there were some good kings, right? And there were some bad kings. Yeah, bad kings. And when the bad kings were ruling, the people weren't always obeying God's rules. Now, during that time of some of the bad kings, God sent some of his prophets to give messages to the people. Now, when I say to give messages, he wasn't like handing them a piece of paper like an envelope and delivering it to them, but he did talk to them. But do you know, when I said he sent some of his prophets, does anyone know what a prophet is? You may have heard that word before. Now, a prophet was an ordinary person just like you or me. And this was a person that God selected, and he chose this person to deliver important messages to the people. In those days, God didn't speak to everyone, but he did select a few individual people to deliver messages to the rest of the people. That's what a prophet did. He talked to the rest of the people, and he told the people what God wanted them to know. Okay, so now one of these messengers was a prophet named Isaiah. Can you say Isaiah? And remember, we just read 2 verses from the book of Isaiah. Okay, now Isaiah told God's people that they have judgment coming. They have not always made good decisions, and that there will be consequences for their decisions. Now, consequences is a big word. Maybe you don't know what that means, or maybe your parents say that sometimes, like you will have consequences for what you've done. Now, that means maybe you fought with your sister or hit your brother. The consequences might be you don't get any video game time that night. That would be the consequences for you fighting with your brother or sister or hitting them. So the people are going to have consequences for when they weren't obeying God or for when they were sinning. Okay? So now the people were walking in darkness. And in those days, darkness was referred to as sin. And that's not a good place for the people to be. They needed a light to come and rescue them. So they were oppressed by their enemies, which were probably some of the other countries around them, but they needed a rescuer. They had kings who did not always lead them very well, and they needed a perfect king who would last forever. Now, who do you think that perfect king would be? Now, we're going to put a pause on that and come back to that and find out who that is. Now, thankfully, their darkness and oppression and bad leaders would not last forever. So even though Isaiah told them they would have consequences, he also gave them a message of hope. Now, have you ever hoped for anything? Maybe you hoped you'd get a new bike, or maybe you hoped you'd get PlayStation 5. That's hope. Isaiah told the people that one was coming who would take away the bad things and lift their burdens. This one would be born as a child. He would be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, and he would reign as king forever. So that was a wonderful thing. And in a dark time, this gave the people hope. They had something to look forward to. Now, God had kept his promise to them in the past, and the people had to trust that God would do this again. They had the anticipation of this special gift, a Savior who would come to reign forever. And we know who this Savior is, right? Jesus. Yes. So we are going to do a little thing with Jesus here. But first of all, we heard about all of the names, or all that Jesus would be called in our verse. And maybe if you have a name, you might have like another name or a nickname. Like if your name is Thomas, you might be called Tommy. So Jesus had a lot of names, and we're going to put some name tags on. First of all, sometimes when you go to children's church or another place, they put a little tag on you that has your name on it. Sometimes when a grown-up goes, they also get a tag, and it says, "Hello, my name is," and it kind of looks like this. I had to make my own, but mine says, "Hello, my name is Miss Tammy." So I'm going to put mine on. Now, if you're a kid, maybe yours says, "Hello, my name is Nora," or it might say, "Hello, my name is Alice." Okay, mine says, "Hello, my name is Miss Tammy." So Jesus, if he went somewhere where people didn't know him, because not everybody knows Jesus, he might have a sticker that says, "Hello, my name is Jesus." So everybody would know this is Jesus, right? But we also heard that this in our verse that he would be called Wonderful Counselor. And that might be a little bit confusing, and we might not understand what that means, but it means he's full of wonder and wisdom. It means we can trust him to listen to our problems and guide us in the right direction. So we do have this name tag for Jesus that says, "Hello, my name is Jesus." But guess what? We're going to have to give him another name tag because he is also known as Wonderful Counselor. So now we're going to have to put another name tag on Jesus that says, "Hello, my name is Wonderful Counselor." Okay. So if Jesus had them, they would be on his body like this, but these name tags are too big for my picture of Jesus. But now Jesus is at a party. He's got two stickers on him. One says, "Hello, my name is Jesus," and one says, "Hello, my name is Wonderful Counselor." Now in the verse we read, it also said he would be called Mighty God. He's like the divine ruler, all-powerful God. So we need to put another name tag on him that says, "Hello, my name is Mighty God." We're going to put that one on him over here. So now he's got another name tag. Okay. So Jesus went to this party and he filled out 3 name tags. Okay. Or wherever he was where people didn't know him. The verse also said that he would be called Everlasting Father. He is Father forever, without end. And in the verse that we read, it said, "Of the greatness of his government and peace, there will be no end." He is Father forever. He is Everlasting Father. So Jesus filled out another name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Everlasting Father." So we have this other one that says, "Hello, my name is Everlasting Father." He was also called Prince of Peace. He would be called Prince of Peace. Okay? Because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, we can now have a relationship of peace with God and ultimately with other people. So now Jesus filled out another name tag that says, "Hello, my name is Prince of Peace." So now Jesus is at this party with another name tag on. So I don't know if people would get confused, but Jesus has all these name tags that says, hello, my name is Jesus. Hello, my name is Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, Mighty God, and Prince of Peace. He is all of these things, okay? And that's what our verse says. That's what the verse told the people, the Israelites, that they would have a hope to know that Jesus would come. They didn't know it was Jesus, but they knew that somebody would come. One would come who would be a wonderful counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace. He would come and take away their burdens. It must have been hard for the people to imagine a king who would reign forever. Now, they had experiences with past kings, and none of them were perfect, but this king is perfect. And God would one day send this king to them. Now, we are fortunate because we know the rest of the story. The Israelites were told of this promise and hope, but it would be many years until God sent Jesus to earth. We know that God kept his promise and sent Jesus as a baby. He is the Savior of the world. When he came, it was the beginning of his kingship. And now we wait for him to return again. And that is just a wonderful thing that we can hope for again. So now that was our lesson, and we are going to say a little prayer. So if you want to bow your heads, close your eyes, and put your hands together. Dear God, thank you for giving us a Savior, your Son Jesus. Thank you that we have we're all here together to learn about you and about Jesus and about the Bible. And I ask you to bless all of these children, and we will see you again next week. Bye.